Lockpicking is my specialty. That and slipping away from a fight without... See you!
The Tuatha are on the run. Good work. Plus, it's much more pleasant here without Gadflow bellowing at me from all corners. But enough pleasantry. Are you prepared for your reunion with Ventrinio? The notes we got from Octien say that you were employed as Ventrinio's assistant in his secret laboratory. You were with him in Alabastra when you died, but the notes weren't clear on what happened. I'm sure the two of you have so much catching up to do. Just make sure he lives long enough to get us into Alabastra. Once that's done, it's none of my business. He's a worm, but a useful one. Octien took quite a risk setting him up in Cluracan. Must have made a lot of deals to keep him safely hidden away. Danistar is almost perfectly defended. Ventrinio could keep an army off of its shores. Good thing we found another way there. Secret Fey paths through elemental darkness? Magic like that should be closely guarded. Imagine how powerful it could be. Of course! This is bound to be informative. I'm just disappointed I never had a chance to see the original Well of Souls. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow to offer you. By all means, be my guest.
Good luck with the gnome, especially if you plan on killing him. Danister Island is sheltered from visitors by stone and storm. Exiles of the Winter Court were once banished to its lonely shores. We know of a secret shadowed path, a legacy from a house all too familiar with exile. Stand in the pool of shadow, close your eyes and touch the tree. I'll take care of the rest. And don't open your eyes while you're moving through the shadows, no matter what you hear. Right this way, and we can walk the shadow to Danister Island. The shadow awaits. Make it quick. This island is a perversion. Good luck with the gnome, especially if you plan on killing him. The shadow awaits.
I hope you're ready for this. Of course, this is bound to be informative. I'm just disappointed I never had a chance to see the original Well of Souls. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow to offer you. By all means, be my guest. This island smells like death. Stay behind me. Whatever that gnome's been up to, it looks like he's made a few enemies in the process. You didn't turn out like those things. It's no social visit. Keep your wits sharp. Just as Hughes thought, Ventrinio used the same wards from their old lab. This'll be quick. Follow me and be careful. The lads are coming from somewhere in here.
The energy from the Well of Souls is overwhelming. Damn it! What's wrong? And why are there so many layers?
Sounds like our rat is caught in a trap. I'm sure he'd be happy to help whoever saves him. Careful, or we'll get trapped up there too. Here's where we part ways. I'll stop the lads at the stairwell. You get upstairs and retrieve Ventrinio. Shouldn't be hard to find him. Keep moving up and follow the cowardly shrieking. I'll hold this staircase. Move!
A new source of power? What sort of nonsense is this? If anything had come in here, my detection spells would have... Wait. Who's down there? Show yourself! Damn it all! I don't care who you are. Get up here! Key to stabilizing the well. This is what I get for using all those soldiers. I never should have let them draw their swords. try not to look directly at the well. It can be a little upsetting. Damn it! Hurry! Before the whole well starts to collapse. took your time, didn't you? Gods damn it! Ever since the Balor was defeated, the Chaos magic sent the well off its alignment. You show up, and now the Laz are... Wait. What? It's you. You're alive. But I saw you die. It was terrible. You were the best assistant I ever had. Who else could have helped me get into Alabastra? Who else had that ambition? We got more than enough Prismere, but you wanted to track down the power source, even if it meant sneaking right onto Gadflow's nose. I spent days trying to recover your body, but I never expected to find you alive, or for you to return. Speaking of which, how did you return anyway? Of course you did. You went there to steal Prismere to power the well, and you wanted to go after the source of the Prismere itself. You went off, geared for war, sneaking into Baal itself. You damned fool! I had a better chance of bringing you back from the dead than I had of changing your mind. But I wasn't able to do either. What? That's impossible. You were attuned at this well. You've never even set foot in his lab. Ha! Hughes is a joke. He doesn't have the stomach for this work. Don't try waking the dead if you're not ready to make a few corpses, I say. But the well is coming down around us. Quick! I've got to slow the energy and shut this thing down. And don't... Oh, damn it all! Here they come! Hold them off! The Laz are here! Hold them off while I try to stop the flow of energy to the well. Ignore the rumbling. Focus on the Laz. Careful. There. Perfectly safe. I think. Anything we can salvage? Even all my work gone. Damn it all! But at least we're still alive. Once again, I triumph over death itself. I won't be talked to like that by an assistant. Why, I ought to... I mean, I ought to watch what I say and offer any assistance required by the large, heavily armed people who outnumber me. So we're going to Alabastra, then. Speaking of not killing me, I want you to have this talisman. It's something I salvaged from my well, and it might just help you in Alabastra. We got in, with a little help, of course. See, it's all because of Callous Dren, the defender of pride. In his house, no one can stand before him. None can even approach, unless you have my little secret. Patience, patience. You'll have it soon enough. I'm going to have to dig it out of the rubble of the tower. Go to the field of Huber, and I'll meet you there. And if you value your life, do not approach Dren. Just go to the field of Huber and wait for me. I'll meet you down there once I can find this damned essence. I know the type. Lucky youth, peaked early, then crawled into a bottle and waited to die. I'm impressed you dragged him away from that bottle, but I wouldn't expect him to do any heavy thinking. You mean your deadly little shadow? I know her type. All smiles now, but it's just so she can get close enough to stick her knives in you. Octien, the man lacked vision. Can you believe all he wanted was his own personal immortality machine? Such a narrow-minded goal for a Templar. Still, he wasn't squeamish about what had to be done in order to develop the well. I suppose he paid well, too, if you'd consider that any reason to pursue the sciences. Gadflow's got an empire built on Prisma. Think of all the power he's sitting on. And he's wasting it on swords and bows. Horrible, messy, ugly place. Too dark to keep bodies preserved and too hot to keep them from stinking. Oh, to be back in a cave in Datir. After an unfortunate incident with the Templars, Octien decided to move my work someplace a little further from the public eye. We both felt that an island in another land behind the front lines of a war might just be far enough from prying eyes. Dren, defender of pride, one of twin defenders, quite powerful in their homes. But did you know they were also entirely immune to each other's powers? And it seems the defender of valor quite disappeared when her house fell. Imagine how useful she would have been if she were here today. Arrogant fools, all of them. At least we could sneak past them when they were overconfident. Now that the army's at their gate, they'll be watching for us. He wasn't fit to hold my crucible, much less carry on my work. He could barely even stand to cut open a warm corpse for study. I can't imagine the reason you came back in his well instead of mine. Probably some freak attunement transfer. Simple bone soldiers, easy enough for any decent mage to build and animate. They're not really alive any more than a puppet is. We needed tremendous quantities of prismere to fuel the well, but it's almost unheard of outside of Alabastra, so we had to sneak in to gather our own. Partial successes at best. They remember how to fight, but that's about all they're good for. Named them after an old nursery rhyme. Damn things are always moaning all the time. I thought it might shut them up to give them a name. My name is Ventrinio Desalini, and I am Professor Emeritus Abscondus of Post-Mortem Studies at the Odessa University. Of course, that was all before I began work on the Well of Souls. Such an important undertaking doesn't leave much time for other pursuits, you know. You don't remember it? Well, why dredge up the past? After all, you're fine now, aren't you? You're not the type to hold a grudge, right? Okay. We were in Alabastra getting prismere. I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least not very. Oh, don't give me that look. Accidents happen, and you can't make an omelette without leaving a few corpses. I didn't know anything about you before you worked for me. Octian hired you and told me you were a resourceful assistant. That's all I know. You never talked about yourself, but you were terrifying, okay? You were the coldest, most terrifying thing I've ever met. You wouldn't have threatened me like this. You would have just stabbed me to death and looted my corpse. Seriously, I saw you do that to people. Often. Here. You left this in your room before you died. Take it. Just please don't kill me. We were in Alabastra, and I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least, not very. Oh, don't give me that look. Accidents happen, and you can't make an omelette without leaving a few corpses. Fine. We were collecting prismere in Alabastra. We needed it to power the well, of course, and you got a wild idea to track down the source of the power. I tried to stop you. I really did. But you decided to sneak into Amethyst, and I wasn't about to get killed along with you. I spent days trying to get your corpse back, but to no avail. Much as I hate to admit it, I should thank Hughes for succeeding where I failed. The Well of Souls is a noble project. Yes, sacrifices have been made. Laws have been broken. People have died. And they will continue to die. Don't you see? That's exactly what I'm trying to prevent. How many have died in this war? Thousands. The bodies are shoulder deep in the battlefields, but for trying to cure it, they call me a monster? Get going. Remember, don't go near Dren until I get there. Go. I'll meet you at the front. Go. I'll meet you at the front.
I'm sure we can trust Ventrinio, but I'll keep an eye on him. I'll stay here and keep an eye on Ventrinio. We'll meet you at the field of Huber, to the south. Mindless soldiers who fight without thoughts. Really just wild magic moving a corpse around. You got into Alabastra once. You can do it again.
You took quite a tumble from the tower. The beacon of corruption is finally wiped from this island. Well done.
Hopeless. So, it's off to face Dren, is it? Isn't that why you found that gnome? I certainly don't intend to bury Dren in bodies. Legend says it was where the first alliance between enemies was formed. And we Fae do so love to repeat legends, don't we? What does one do in the face of certain death?
How can one Fae be this much trouble? There's got to be a way through here. Any luck finding Ventrinio and his big secret? And it looks like they're not far behind you. If you were anyone else, I'd try to stop you. As it is, I'll just wish you good luck. This can't end here. Hi. I won't lie. Aylin's been a big help. She saved me once or twice at Melson Shear when she could have just let me die. Still can't shake the feeling that she's hiding something. But whatever it is, it's probably not too sinister. Probably. Ventrinio knows how he can be defeated, or at least bypassed. This can't end here.
Sometimes one soldier can do what an entire army cannot.
You haven't tried going in there, have you? No, of course you haven't. You're still alive. This took a little longer to find than I had hoped, but it should be exactly what you need. Dren had a twin in the Summer Court, Dith the Defender of Valor. They were both entirely immune to each other's power. She faded when the House of Valor fell, but my early experiments with the Well of Souls provided a quite useful little surprise. You see, when trying to draw life energy from the ether, I captured her essence and bound it into this charm. With this, you will be immune to Dren's power. It's not as powerful as it used to be, and it's specific to Dren, but it'll let you face him and live. Now, be fair. Fae don't have souls as mortals do. They're a form of magic with a physical form. And I only got a little of it anyway. Just enough for a certain degree of immunity to Dren's power. It only works for one person, but it'll be enough for you to reach him. Trouble is, he'll be immune to your power as well. But I'm sure you can think of something. With the essence of valor, you can withstand Dren's attacks. Stop being such a child and go face him. Now, go show that defender what a little magic can do.
Turn back or die. Then you shall die like the others before you. I made an oath to protect my house and my homeland. No power short of death can keep me from fulfilling my duties. I know your intentions are to free my people from the Tuatha. You seem an honorable sort. You even bear the blessing of my sister. But I have sworn an oath to defend my house and homeland. I cannot let you in without a fight, and you cannot win against me. If only things could be different. If only the Tuatha were gone and my sister was back. Enough. We could fight each other until the mountains wear away, but that will aid nothing. My sister and I were chosen to protect our kind. So long as our houses stood, the Fae would never pass from this world. I in pride, and she in valor. We never imagined that our houses could crumble beneath our feet. Mortals led to the collapse of my sister's house, but with Gadflow's help, they shall not have mine. He may taint pride with his Prismere and his obscene god, but it will keep us eternal. I cannot yield, but if your true intent is to stop Gadflow, then perhaps there is a way my house and my honor could remain pure. If you would promise to spare the House of Pride, then we could put aside our powers and have an honest battle, win, and your army may pass. I thank you. Destroy the Tuatha in my house and the hateful witch knight Myrna. Then we can be free. Now release my sister's essence, and I shall relent my own powers. Let us face each other as equals, and see who is truly worthy of victory.
How can... You did it! You actually beat him! Guess I owe Ventrinio a drink. A promise is a promise, and the Witch Knights of Pride would be powerful allies to have on our side. I'll send a few soldiers along to help. Meanwhile, I'll get the other troops ready to move into Alabastra once that gate opens. The gate to Alabastra's still closed, and we can't open it without the House of Pride's help. Clean out the Tuatha inside, and we can move on. Get that gate open, and the army will be ready to go.
With you here, we can't lose. Hate the dirt, dustman!
Halt! Parley in honor of Dre. If you would be so kind as to have a word with us. I have been chosen by the remaining members of our house to speak for all. We were most honored by your intention to free us. We are in seclusion, so it's best to observe this situation without any unnecessary interference or risk to ourselves. I assure you, we will be more than happy to assist you in Alabastra. Simply carry forth and destroy Witch Knight Myrna, who has so commandeered our house, and her dreadful Prismere Chantry, of course. We are sure you'll have no problem finding her, or defeating her. We eagerly anticipate your success.
I should thank you for exposing the disloyal amongst my kin. But then, I have so much to thank. Pride? The goddess of mercy awakens. And so, well...
We have seen our champion bested, our advantage lost, and our minds are cleared. Bravo to you, champion. House of Pride, in our ineffable wisdom, renounces the Tuatha and demands that you accept our immediate surrender. Your army is welcome here. We trust our benevolence will be well remembered should Gadflow be dethroned. We thank you kindly, and our mages have already been assisting your army in their march into Alabastra. We trust you do not object. Most excellently spoken. You have the commanding presence of a young Aegon, who once also bore the pleasure of our august company. Allow us to welcome you to Alabastra. We trust your visit will be eventful. How Gadflow came to command such respect is beyond even our wisest. He was little more than a jester at the Winter Court. But he said he found the voice of Tirnoch, and she led him to power. And it seems he was correct. Prince Sidon is a Fae of noble tradition. He would never raise a hand against the High King, just as he would never bow before the Tuatha. The Tuatha bred in our lands before we realized what change they truly represented. Certainly we all share a distaste for mortals, but few of us ever hunted them. As the Fae are above mortals, the House of Pride reigns above their fellow Fae, sharing our wisdom, our grace, and our humility. Vengeance is such a sloppy, boorish house. Marvelous fighters, of course, but simply crude. They all feel that the world has wronged them somehow. And perhaps it did. How else would they end up in such a hateful house? We've been gifted with so much. It's only proper that we are also immortal, so as to put our gifts to the most use. Conversely, poor children of dust have so little, but are given barely a moment to live. How kind the world is. Myself? Why, this one is merely the lowest ranked of our house, and yet we have been chosen as the speaker for the Fae of Pride. To us falls the honor of acting as liaison to your mortal army. Your charming, well-bred, and simply lovely army.
The House of Pride opened its gates and welcomed us as honorary champions. They say it's simple hospitality, but I suspect we have you to thank. Now is the difficult part. We can hold Cluricon, even push a little into Alabastra, but we don't have the forces to mount a siege on Gadflow. Once the House of Pride gives their word, they'll never break it. At least, not while it looks like we're winning. Our real problem is that we can't march the army through Alabastra. Not in formation, at least. This will call for smaller groups. Alabastra is a maze of valleys. Gadflow's remaining faithful would spot an army moving together, and the valleys would be the death of us. But where an army would fail, the 5 of us can triumph. If we split up, we can travel faster and catch them unaware. We will at the House of Vengeance, on Gadflow's doorstep. From there, we strike at Bale, the heart of his empire. More than you'd think. But I promise I'll explain it all to you. Maybe once Gadflow's dead. I'm sure you know more about it than I do. After all, you were here last. That's where we'll find Gadflow, and where we'll put an end to this whole war. I hope you're ready. This time. I'll see you in Alabastra.
Next, we move on to Alabastra. Death, pain, blood, and unpleasant answers. The Pale Country, once the peaceful home to the Winter Court. Now Gadflow squats in her heart like a rat in the flesh. My homeland will not suffer this indignity. Together, we must extract the Tuatha, even if it means the end of my people. Bale, the icy heart of my people, with bridges of woven stone and ice. It sickens me to think of what Gadflow's people have done to it.
We're not going to stop Gadflow by just standing here and chatting. Lead the way. I'll meet you at the House of Vengeance. You should have seen Alabastra at its prime. Serene and beautiful as a sky full of stars. Bale was the seat of the Winter Court. Every bit as cold as Issa is warm. But they're both beautiful in their own ways. I'll see you at the House of Vengeance.
Hope you've got better luck this time. I need to talk with you, but not here. I'll find you in Alabastra. I've put together a few facts about your death, and I think I know something grave. But not here. I don't want to cause a panic. When you and I came to Alabastra, we were looking for the source of the Prismere's power. I never found it, but I think you did, and that's why you died. The frosted gem at the center of Alabastra, full of Prismere. But now it's a lot more full of enemies than it was when we snuck in there. I'll give them the slip and talk with you a little later.
Welcome to Alabastra, hero. I'm no proper nature guide, but you see that wall up there, jutting beyond the height of that bridge? I heard a legend as a boy that said it's made of ice of pure winter, and it never melts. Beautiful, and a bit terrifying.
Praise Lyria! I thought you'd never arrive. Welcome to Camp Moondown. Are you with Captain Ancilla's company? We need soldiers, not heroes. Without help, we won't last long on this ridge. Still, any help is something. Will you lend a hand? Our commander and his Ariad rushed ahead to Shadow Pass, and the enemy moved in to divide us. Most of us left behind are dead, and the wounded might as well be. Each Tuatha attack is bigger, more brutal than the last. We need fresh sword arms, lots of them. Thank you. Without you, we could not... No! That's a Tuatha now! Come! Goodbye.
Mortal in one
Good to see you. How are things going? Hello.
Hello, mortal. I am the Knave of Pride. Wait a moment. The hero of Melson Shear, here to offer your services. You have impeccable timing. I have some Bolgans that need to be disposed of. They're everywhere. Big red faces. The Bolgan masters use them as foot soldiers when they can. They compelled the Bolgan to fight. If you're in the mood, locate these Bolgan masters. Shouldn't be too difficult for the hero of Melson Shear. Well, get to work then, hero. And come see me once you've thwarted the threat. Not sure, but they're about. Always seem to turn up whenever we're desperately clinging to life. It's a lovely arrangement. I hear she has little experience, but I have better things to do than chat with or about those beneath me. They're a special breed of mage, real nasty. The Bolgan masters control the Bolgans, hence the name. I was sent to Camp Moondown to help assess the situation. There are greater things at stake. I'm just looking to move on by completing these menial tasks. Goodbye.
How are things going? Keep your eyes peeled.
With horror's screams and ghostly face, we leave blood in a graven place. The forest black and nighttime sky, the blood that pours forth from your eye. A feast for maggots, craven all, that eat the dying when they fall. Instead of vibrant fighting flesh that fights the barghest and the thresh, that knows the plight of Seelie Fae, you who walked the Niralim's way, and reckon fates of mortal dust, and keep an oath or break a trust. We hunger for your corpse once more, to hear your cries and anguished roar.
I'm still giddy. The hero of Melsenshire. It's an honor. Goodbye.
Hey! You can't walk from here to Shadow Pass without tripping over to Uffa.
Your life is mine. That one mustn't
I've never killed a mortal.
You have returned. No Bolgan tough enough to best the hero, eh? Ah, thank you, mortal. Hi, Fulge.